Hello, welcome to Pilates in the chair with the resistance band. Do note that this practice is geared towards the beginner practitioner. So if you have a little bit more experience, you're free to try this out, but just know that I am gearing this towards the beginner student. As far as what you'll need to sit in the chair. It's okay for this practice if you have arm rest in it. Just kind of be mindful of your movements as needed. I am 4 foot, 10 inches tall. Therefore, if I don't have blocks under my feet, my legs and everything are not in a really good alignment. So I bring the floor closer to me by stepping on blocks. If you're a taller person, that's not something that you're going to do. Okay. And then the band is a light resistance band. It's fairly long for different exercises. So you want to make sure that you have a long band. A closed loop band will not work today. And as you get stronger and get used to these movements, you can always increase the challenge by going to a heavier resistance band. This can also be done with resistance tubing. Just make sure it is light tubing and be mindful on different exercises, as sometimes tubing can roll and snap and that sort of thing. So just be careful with it, but it is totally doable. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to get started in a seat, and I'm going to scoot more towards the front of my chair. And as I scoot to the front of the chair, I want to be able to sit nice and tall. So I want to envision my ears, my shoulders, and the hips are in a relative alignment, but I've still got the natural curvatures of my spine. So I'm trying not to flatten that out. And I want to feel heavy on both sits bones here. I want to make that a little even as possible. I'm just going to roll my shoulders down and back. We want to envision this nice posture. And from here, let's go into a little bit of breath work. So as you inhale, you want to be able to expand the rib cage. And some people find it helpful kind of place their hands under the ribs. Some people don't like that. So I'm going to encourage you to do what feels comfortable to you. But when you inhale through the nose, you want to think about expanding that rib cage. And if at all possible, try not to let the shoulders creep up with you. Try to keep them down. And then just gently exhale. Good. And we'll go again. Inhale to expand. And exhale. Good. Now we're going to focus on the exhale. So as we inhale to expand, on the exhale, you want to really take the belly button in towards the spine. Okay? So you want to envision kind of like deflation there, if you will. So we're inflating the lungs and we're deflating the belly of sorts. If it feels okay to you to press the air out through the mouth, like that, sometimes that shushing noise can help with a deeper core connection. So do what feels comfortable for you right now. Remember, at the end of the day, the most important thing is to breathe, but we'll go through a few rounds of the inhale and the exhale together. So we're nice and tall, and we're going to inhale and expand. Exhale, belly button into the spine. Inhale, expand. Exhale. Inhale, expand. And exhale. Good. Let's go into just a few seated cat cows here. So I'm going to turn to the side a little bit just so you can better see what I'm doing. Actually, I'm just gonna turn my way. You are fine right where you're at. I'm just gonna turn here. One day I might get a second chair for this stuff so I don't have to constantly things. I'm just gonna put this back here for now. Good. So for a seated cat cow, start on your nice tall sit. You want to come be still towards the front of your chair. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to go into that roundedness. So I'm just going to tuck the tail a little bit, scooping in the belly, but I don't want to go so far back here that I go into a slouch. Okay. So it's a very subtle movement of the pelvis today. So I'm just gonna curl this a little bit and then come back up. Here's the tall posture. Now I'm gonna tip the pelvis back. Maybe the chest comes a little bit forward, just a light extension. So feel free to kind of move through this range very gently, nothing extreme. Good. There's your extension. There's the flexion, extension, flexion, and the cow, and the cat, and the cow, and the cat. Good. From here, we'll take this into a few seated stretches. I'm going to turn back this way. And from here, let's just take the arms up overhead, reaching and taking them back down. Good. Let's reach up and taking them back down. Let's reach forward, reaching up, keeping the shoulders down and lower, and reaching up and lower. Good. Right arm is going to reach. Good. Be mindful if you've got an armrest here. We're just going to take a side bend over towards the left. Nice and gentle, nothing too extreme. And then coming back up, right arm's going to come down, left arm's going to come up. We'll get that side stretch to the right, breathing and expanding. And then coming back up here. Okay, so I'm going to start by taking my band now. I'm going to take it behind me. As I take it behind me, it doesn't necessarily have to be flat back there, but I want equal slack on both sides, okay? Now, as we go through these exercises, you do want the band to be maybe right around the bra line here. So as we go through these exercises, if you need to make something a little bit more challenging, just kind of choke up a little bit on the band. So you're going to kind of reach your hands a little bit more to you. You'll increase that slack. If you need to make it less challenging, you're just going to create less slack and go out that way. Okay, that's how you can adjust. A few things here. We are getting ready to actually do these movements just to kind of warm up the wrist a little bit. But just know when we go out to the side or we do some different things, try not to curl the wrist this way or kind of do stuff like that. You want a nice long wrist, unless I say otherwise. So from here, good. I'm going to press straight forward. Now that's a little bit much for this beginning here, so I'm going to release some of that. Good. Straight forward, my palms are facing down, my shoulders are down. Good. And from here, I'm just going to take some nice little wrist rolls. Now we're still sitting up, nice and tall. We're inhaling and expanding, and exhale. Good. Let's go to the other direction. So this should feel a little bit like a challenge. If it becomes too much, take a break. And remember that pain is never normal. So if we ever feel any pain in anything we're doing, then we stop. Good. Now, from here, I'm going to reach forward again. I'm just going to take it down and up and push down and up, push down and up and down and up. Turn the palms toward each other. Good. We'll open and close, open, close, open, close, open, close. Good. Come down, take a little break, shake something out. Maybe I like to do my hands, fingers kind of like this sometimes after I do that. Good. Okay. So now from here on out, we want to keep a nice long wrist on this work. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to push back out again. Good. And we're going to go into some protraction and retraction. So nice and tall, shoulders are down and back. Protraction, I'm reaching the arms forward. Retraction, I'm taking them back. So protraction, retraction. protraction, retraction. I'm going to show you from the side. I'm not going to move everything, but this will still give you an idea. Good. Protraction, retraction, protraction, retraction. And so what this movement does is this strengthens the muscles around the scapula, your shoulder blade, and this helps with that nice posture to keep the muscles from causing your back to round forward and that hump that we get sometimes as we age. So we want to make sure that those muscles are nice and strong. When those muscles are strong, we also have less tension in the neck. Shoulders are down. Good. Take that down for a moment. A little bit of a break. So we're going to take this into now a double arm press out, a double arm press out. So I'm going to just choke up just a little bit here. Good. I'm going to start with bent elbows and palms are facing down. So almost kind of like maybe a double arm punch. I'm going to push straight out. I'm controlling it when I return. We never want to snap back. Push out. Control the return. We're still nice and tall. Shoulders down and back. Push out. There's your exhale. Inhale to return. Exhale. Inhale. And inhale one more time. And inhale. Good. You can take a little break. So we're going to do that movement again. This time we're going to do it one arm at a time. One arm at a time. So we'll do 4 on each side. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to push out with both arms. Right arm only. Elbows comes back. And we'll go 1. Good. As you do this, try not to rotate with it. Good. We're still exhaling on the press out. Inhaling on the return. And I believe this is the last one. Hold that out there. Good. And we'll go 1. Exhale 2. Exhale 3. Exhale 4. And bring that down for a moment. Good. I like to try to do that. Yeah. Good. So now we're going to try a little bit of a cat-cow with the band. So we're going to go to the same range of motion with that cat-cow with the band that we did without the band towards the beginning of class. So just kind of be mindful where your grip needs to be, adjust as needed. I'm going to push out. Good. Now I'm tucking the tail just a little bit. I'm feeling that little tension increase. And then I'm coming back to center. And then I'm kind of taking the chest forward, pelvis turns back a little bit. Good. And then just kind of move through that. Here's your exhale on the round. Inhale as we come up. Good. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Shoulders down and back. Exhale. And inhale. Good. And lower that down. We're going to take this into some side presses. Side presses. So we're going to come out here. I'm going to adjust my grip a little bit. Good. Palms are facing me, so they're facing forward. And all you're going to do here, good, is you're just going to press out and come back in. Press out. Good. Choke up if needed to make it more challenging. Press out. And press out. Hold this out. Hold it out. 3, 2, 1. Release. One more time. Press out. 3, 2, 1. And release. We're going to press this out again. We're going to take this into some rotation. So we're nice and tall. Ears, shoulders, and hips again. Zip up that front body, belly button in. Exhale, press out. Inhale to prepare. Exhale a little bit to the left. Return a little bit. Exhale maybe a little bit more. Inhale, return. Exhale a little bit more. Inhale to return. Other side. Exhale a little bit and return. Exhale a little bit more and return. Exhale a little bit more and return. Take a break. So anytime you're going into rotation here, you want to keep that nice long spine. So take breaks if you start to lose it. We don't want to twist from this slump and that roundedness. So here we go again. Exhale. Inhale to prepare. One more time to the left. Exhale a little bit. We'll come back center. Exhale a little bit more. Come back center. Exhale a little bit more. And come back center. And we'll go right into the next one. Exhale a little bit. And center. Exhale a little bit more. And center. Exhale even more. And center. And bring that down. Good. We're going to transition and sit on this band now. You may have to come to standing for that one. So this is where if you're using tubing, it can get a little tricky and uncomfortable. So just kind of be mindful. I do want my band to be relatively flat, and then I'll make sure that I'm even on both sides here. Come up. Let's kind of do that check. Good, they're even. Be even as possible. So from here, we're going to go into overhead presses. Overhead presses. So we're going to come here. I like to have my band behind me. So I'm going to change my grip where my palms are facing forward. Have about the same amount of slack on each side, and you can close the fingers here. So from here, elbows are going to be in. We're going to lift straight up. We're going to do that 4 times. Nice and tall. Belly button in, shoulders down. Push up and control the down. Sometimes the down can be just as challenging as the push. I'm going to make this less challenging for me. And we'll push up 2 and take it down. Exhale, push 3 and take it down. Shoulders stay down. Exhale, push 4 and take it down. Good job. So I'm going to change my grip again here. So I'm going to turn my palms forward, and we're going to do a lateral raise. So most of you are going to have to choke up a little bit here. You may or may not be able to lift all the way to shoulder height. You go to where you can go, keeping those shoulders down. Good. Nice tall posture. And here we go. Go 1. Control the down. 2. Control the down. 3. Control the down. And 4. Control the down. Good. I'm just going to let this release here for a moment. Let's go into some neck stretches. I'm going to take the chin to the chest. For some people, that might be enough of a stretch. If you feel like you need more, you can take your hands, you can place them on the occiput, that's the curvature of the skull, and then just let gravity give you that deeper stretch here. So we don't want to pull or tug. We're just letting gravity give us that nice stretch. Breathe and expand. And then we'll gently release. Good. From here, we're going to take the left ear to the left shoulder. Good. Keeping the opposite shoulder down and back. We also want to avoid a side bending with it. So you still want to keep that nice tall spine. If that's okay, you can stay. If you want more, take that chin towards that armpit. That might be enough. And again, if you want more, you're going to take the left hand. You're going to place it right on the occiput. You're going to let gravity give you a little bit more here. Good. And then we'll release. And we'll come up and come back to center. Same thing to the other side. Right ear, right shoulder. We're nice and tall. Right shoulder is down and back. You're free to stay here if this is enough. You can take that chin to that armpit. That might be enough. If you still need more, right hand's going to come to the occiput. Good. And then just let gravity give you that little extra stretch. And when ready, we'll release and we'll come up. So from here, in the best way for you, seated or coming to standing, good, I'm just going to come forward a little bit. We're going to take the strap, sorry, not a strap, but a band. We're going to take this into the feet. Let's start with the right foot. So I'm going to take my right foot in here. Now for the band, if you're using the tubing, be very careful that it doesn't roll here. If for the band, you want to make sure that you've got the ball of the foot in here, and you're going to choke up a little bit. You can have the heel grounded on the floor and do this work, or you can have it a little bit lifted. The little bit lifted is going to be a little bit more challenging, so you choose. So I'm going to have my heel down to the floor, and I'm just going to push like I'm pushing on an accelerator, and then I'm controlling that as it comes back up. And I'm just going to push and control and push and control. I'm actually going to make sure that my toes are in this band, and I'll show you why. So as I push here, I want to try to curl the toes a little bit and then control that as I come up. Try to press the toes into that band a little bit, control it and come up. We'll do that one more time. Good. Now from here, see if you can circle that around. The circle can also be done with a lifted heel. I'm going to lift my heel for this one. It feels a little bit better to me today. Good. So getting into your feet is really important. The ankle is very important. When the ankles get stiff, especially as we age, then we start to shuffle our feet. And when we start to shuffle our feet when we walk, then we start to trip and fall over things. So we want to keep those ankles nice and supple. Good. So while we've got this band here, good, I'm going to bring this foot back in. Good. And you can slide this foot across your floor to lengthen that leg, or you can bend. What you do want to do is I should have said this in the beginning, but if you're sitting more towards the front of your chair for this one, you want to sit more into the center. You want your thighs to be a little supported here so that your hip flexors are not trying to take over. So you can slide that foot forward and lengthen that leg and slide it back in if you want a little bit more challenge. Zip up. Good. You can lift that knee a little bit and you can press into that band and then bring it back in. You want to control the movement in both directions. Good. You want to keep a nice tall spine here as well. So we don't want to lean back or slouch to do this work. We'll do one more. Good. And then we will just do a little switcheroo here. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my toes are within the span. Good. You can have your heel on the floor or a little bit lifted. And we're just going to point and flex and point and flex and point and flex and point and flex. Good. We'll take that into the circles. It does not matter what direction you start with. We're doing the same thing on both. Now, it doesn't apply to me here, which is why I didn't say it on the other side, but something I just reminded. Sometimes people find it a little bit more comfortable if you've got an armchair to rest an arm on there. Just don't, use it as a way to collapse. You still want to be nice and tall. Good. So now from here, we'll bring that back in. You can slide that foot across the floor, or you can pick it up a little bit and just press and control the bend. And press, control the bend. Press, control the bend. And press, control the bend. I'm going to take both feet in here. Good. So I want these feet flat. Good. And we're going to go into a bicep curl. So I'm going to take the sides here and I'm going to wrap maybe once or twice. And then palms are going to face towards the ceiling. So I want my forearms to be parallel to the floor. Again, watch your wrists. We don't want them to bend down and we don't want them to curl up. So we're staying nice and long. Belly button is in, nice and tall. We'll do this one 6 times. Exhale, inhale. Now, if wrapping a couple times is too much, kind of undo the wrap a little bit. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. I think this next one is 6. Exhale, inhale. Good. We're going to go into a row. Palms are going to face down and behind you. Good. Again, be mindful is where you need to be. We did this a little bit of a version of this earlier, but we're going to do this one with the feet on the band. So we're just going to lift out a little bit and lower. Small but mighty movement, shoulders down. Now a little bit and lower, a little bit, and lower, a little bit, and lower. Good. So we'll undo that. We're going to come to standing for some balance work and some more leg work. So I'm going to move my blocks a little bit out of the way here. And I'm going to turn my chair sideways. You don't need to do that. As long as you can see me, you can totally come behind your chair and do this work. Actually, because you can see me behind this chair because I don't have a back, I'm just going to stay here. Good. So if you can come about hip width apart, have at least one hand on your bar, and we're just going to lift up onto the tippy toes and lower. Press into the balls of the feet to lift and lower. This is also some nice strengthening work again. And we're going to lift and lower and lift and lower. Good. Always having at least one hand on your chair. Good. I'm going to let my left leg kind of come in a little bit more to the center. I'm going to take my right leg out here. So I've just got my toe touching here. Good. Standing nice and tall. Belly button is in. Shoulders are down. We're going to lift this leg. You don't have to lift high. We're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Keeping the supporting knee soft. We'll lift a little bit. We'll take some small circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring that foot in. Good. Right leg's going to be a little bit more center. We're going to do that to the other side. So left toe's going to come out a little bit. Just a little lift. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Take a little break. Come back out. Here's the little circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. From here, just go to a march. Kind of relax through the hip. Relax through the legs. For this one, I am going to turn my chair sideways. We're going to do a tricep kick back here, and I'm going to show you how you can do this one standing with the band. So I'm going to take a lot of this band onto the chair. Good. And you can do a wrap if you want to. I'm not. I'm just going to kind of come here. Good. And I'm going to put this band between my pointer and my thumb, and my hand is going to be securing it right here. Now I'm going to step back a little bit. Feet are about hip width apart. My knees are bendy. I want my back to be long, so belly button is in. Elbow is in here. And then from here, I'm just going to press back. 1. Again, watch that wrist. 2, 3, and 4. Good. Keep your grip, and we're going to switch. So now the right hand is down, left elbow is in, and here we go. Little bendy in the knees, long in the back, belly button in. And we'll go 1, 2, exhale 3, exhale 4. Good. And then from here, pressing through the feet to come up, we are going to be done with standing. So I'm going to turn my chair back around. I'm going to bring my blocks back in here for my feet. And we're going to go into some stretches. So I'm just going to take this band down here. Take a big inhale to reach. Exhale, come down. Inhale to reach. Exhale, come down. We'll come back forward. Inhale, reach. Exhale, come down. One more time like that. Inhale, reach. Shoulders are down. We're nice and tall. And exhale, lower. Good. I'm going to take my band. Equal strap on each side. Taking it over. Inhale, reach. Maybe we go back a little bit. Just go to where you can go. So this is the front of the shoulder. It's a little bit of a chest stretch. And come back forward. If your elbows are bending as you go back, take a wider grip on the band. And take it back. Finding the stretch. And come back forward. And we'll do that one more time. Going back, finding the stretch, hold, breathe. We're sitting nice and tall. And then we'll take that back up. Good. From here, I'm going to take the band and place it to the side. Big inhale and reach. Exhale. Right hand, or sorry, this is the left hand. Might be good if I got that right. Good. Can come to the thigh or to the side of your chair. Get a side bend towards your left. Good. Breathe and expand. And then coming up. Good. Switching side. Big inhale. Exhale. Taking it over. And coming up. Good. We'll do one little hip stretch here. I'm going to move to the front of my chair. Good. So different people need to come into a seated figure 4 in different ways. So I'll do this kind of easier way. So maybe you lengthen that left leg. Some of you are going to pick up and put that right leg over that. Now, for some of you, this might be enough of a stretch and you can just kind of press into the foot. Others, you can use that as you bend to kind of grab your pants, kind of pull that up and coming up here. Okay, others may not need to do all of that. You might be able to just pick up the ankle and put here. So get there the way that you need to get there. Stop where you need to stop. You want these toes to point towards its knee. This might be enough for you. Some people are going to put a gentle pressure into the thigh. Some people with a long back are going to lean forward a little bit to find yours. So find yours where you need to find it. This is one of my favorite stretches. Good. And when we're ready, good, we'll come up. Good. Based on where you went here, carefully undo the way that your body needs you to undo. And then when you're ready, we're going to do that to the other side. So now again, if you need to lengthen a leg, you just do a crossover, get there the way you need to get there. Good. And then once you're where you need to be, toes are going to come towards the knee. Good. Left hand may or may not press a little bit into that thigh. And then you may or may not stay here, or you might lean in a little bit. Remember, we want to lean in with a long back. So for example, here's a long back, here's a hunched back. We want to find that length. Breathe and expand. And then once you're ready, good, we'll gently back off and we will undo. Good. I hope you enjoy this Pilates session with the resistance band in the chair. If you're a beginner, stick with it. The more you do it, the stronger you will get. I recommend it about 2 or 3 times a week to start. And then maybe you can increase it or increase your resistance. Thank you so much for joining me.